Huh? Where you going? Hey, good morning. What is going on in the hood today? Batu. Hey guys, what's up? This is Big Daddy over here. We got Gap City in the markets once again. I didn't see like anything that pressing on the news front beyond like just your usual, hey, tariffs, hey, President of Mexico farted in my face, these kind of things. Nothing too crazy here. But the gap is actually fairly significant. You're not going to find so the ATR on the Qs is $12, the last 10 days, but normally it's like 9. You're at 8 already. So the volatility obviously has picked up. The ATR and the QQQs has doubled in the last month or so, give or take, which is significant. So that's a big indication, right, that volatility itself is getting juicy. So just, some different things to kind of be mindful of. You don't have to be as aggressive with your trading on the size because there's twice as much volatility, by the way. So, just got to be mindful of those things as we move through. Now, on the other side of things, we're coming right back down into the middle of the range. And so we'll have to be a little bit careful today. One thing I don't like is that, we've coming back, we're hugging at the 200-day moving average, and, theoretically that should hold. But you don't want to see this thing getting tested too many times. It does happen where sometimes you can just round at a MA, and you can round here and kind of you back and fill, where you churn out the buyers and sellers for a little bit, before you rebound, or you can just dump under. This is a decent sized gap. This is a decent sized gap. I don't see anything, I don't see anything different than our normal news flow. So who fucking knows? These things are we're just in that volatile, really volatile market. And if you look here, right, the VIX has been elevated. I believe right now in the pre-market we're at 24. So, you're going to get an elevated VIX also. You can see here on UVXY. And we haven't had that VIX blowout yet either. So I think that'll be something that we got to kind of keep into the back of our cards too. But this is a nasty open. The ideal open would have been what? Well, the ideal open would have been like, okay, we closed around here. Maybe we opened at like 501, 500, and then you could go red to green. Like you can, start the build over the previous day's high. Or if the market dumps, you've got room back into the previous day's low. And so you have this like extra stuff. So we are like, we're in the kiss your sister open, which is, if she's your stepsister, it's okay. But, otherwise you got to be a little bit careful as you're going through this. So this is the kiss your sister open. We'll see kind of what's going on here. Feeling a little bit like, what this feels like? It's like, it's too late. It feels a little bit late to short and probably a little bit early to long, right? So I think the game plan for today has to be, all right, like if we're going to, be opening up like this, then, what we need to be doing, what we got to be doing is a little bit something different, which is, we're going to have to do is like, we're going to have to kind of see how we react around yesterday's lows. We don't have like that, right? Like that easy, happy go lucky open. So ideally we flush down into the previous day's low, and then let's see what's up, right? Let's see how the market reacts. Do we flush under? Do we hold? Do we come back and retest this low? Which, man, that would be, let me just say this. We retest 488 and we're not that far away. That takes us out, below the 200-day moving average into a much deeper low. That's going to be, that's not your kiss your sister open. That's your, make whoopee with your sister open at that point. So just gotta be mindful of that. Hey Puma, how you doing? Good. Now let's take a look at the SPY here. And dude, you got right similar thing. You're kind of opening down. This is your 573 is your low. 573 is your low. And just extend that out a little bit so you don't forget. That's your real low on the SPY. You want to make sure that if you break through, you've got some alerts set and stuff like that too. But that takes us right back into kind of the 200-day moving average. And then the IWM is, the IWM's a rundy anyways, right? It's just in a nasty little bear market. This is not going, this is not really going to be doing much of anything. Its day is done for a little bit. Now, if we're looking at TLT, right? TLT also topped out a couple days ago. We had been in a nice run in TLT, so the rates had been going down because of this Doge stuff. But that's starting to pull back too. So we'll see if this trend line holds. If it doesn't, then you're going to get kind of back into this zone. If that happens, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the markets too. So we do have to be a little bit mindful of some of these different. We got to be mindful of some of these different cross currents that are happening in the market, from right tariffs to the Doge to your 200-day moving averages to the rates, all of this kind of stuff. Let's dig in real quick and just see if we got any kind of relevant news out for the day. So if you see here, U.S. equities futures lower, erasing most of Wednesday's gains. Junk. Pre-market, you got ZS, Burlington Coat Factory, great place. For those of you guys that grew up in Michigan, you used to be able to get 2 suits, 2 ties, 2 handkerchiefs, $49. That's a fucking good deal, right? $49. They didn't last very long, but man, you're in a jam, you hit up that Burlington Coat Factory, you're going places. Right up on Telegraph Road. Man, that was a nice spot. Now, BJ's reported better than EPS. That's a grocery store. Yeah, BJ's Wholesale. It's like a wannabe Sam's Club. It's a grocery store. Grocery stores have actually been kind of hot. Like, you got like Kroger's and stuff like that. Burlington. That one's also gapping up. This one trades this one's got really good range because the float on it's really tiny. But it does. They lowered guidance too, but it's opening up in a weird spot and it just trades thin. JD, this is something we'll have to take a look at because there's a theme here in the Chinas, right? There's a little bit of a theme in the Chinas, so let's take a look at JD in a second. We got ourselves here. Oh yeah, hold on. Man, this NVIDIA is getting fucking smoked like a mother. Macy's is breaking down, big base. We'll put an eye on that one. MDB, that one's also breaking down. Mongo Bongo, great name, by the way. This 210 spot on Mongo Bongo, if you look at the daily charts, a huge spot. Damn, I look like a damn tan man in here. Hold on. Lights in this motherfucker, right? Damn. What is happening in the world? Oh, look at that. Now we back in the game. Good. Now, Mongo Bongo's got a good spot there too. And then we'll check out this ZS. Beyond that, look at the all junk. U.S. equity snapshot sold off steadily in the open in Europe and are near session lows. 0.1% gap down. Assumption that federal government cuts and tariff uncertainty would require Fed easing. Futures price 3 Fed cuts. Blah blah blah. Automakers. Blah blah blah. This is all a fugazi for the most part. Now look, this is still the theme. APAC markets. China continues to soar as the Hang Seng rose 3.3%. There was a fourth gain over 3.3% since the mid-January lows. with the index up a staggering 29.5. Guys, these guys are pumping like you've never seen. They're doing the old school, they're doing the Biden COVID pump, where they're just throwing the money at everything. We got to get, let's dig into some Chinas here. Let's dig into some Chinas. That's going to be, that's the theme, right? So, if we're going to be digging through this, right? If we're going to be digging through this, there we are. This is your ETF for China. China. So, what do you see here? Well, first of all, you're running into a little bit of resistance today. But if you go back a period of time, right, you're breaking out levels from basically the beginning of 2022. So it's been about 3 years. If you look at a weekly chart, right, you're breaking out, you see it a little bit more clearly, right? You got a big, like you were up all-time highs, crashed over 50%, right? And now you're kind of making your run back. So you got a good spot on this. This is CWEB. This is your China Bull ETF for the internet companies. You can see here, right? You got a big old Basie McGee over here. So, we want to be a part of some of these names. So what are the China names that, we could be, right, taking a look at, taking a gander at? Well, it always starts with the Baba Nation sensation. Now, look, the swing trade entry on this was probably down here, maybe at the open yesterday, right? But definitely not here. But we could keep day trading this, let it pull back and fill some of its gap. And, we'll see what's going on for the downtown Julie Brown. Baba, yeah, you know what? Let it come back. If it comes back, let's go to... If it comes back to this hourly chart, if it comes back somewhere in the 138s, I think we can hit it, all right? That'll give us a nice... So you got a 2-tapper on your hourly chart, and now you're starting to pull back just a little bit here, right? Just pulling. That ain't bad. Good. Yeah, I think we got a good spot on that one too. I'm into it. Yeah, you're almost into the bone zone right now. So let's see. Let's see what we get. Hold on here 1 second. Un minuto. Whoop. Pull over that ass too fast. Got it. All right, so let's get this thing back into the 140s. Now, beyond that, 138 is your spot. You've got Beaky. Right? So Beaky, also check out this level that's developing. Let me go to a weekly chart here. All right. Let me go to a weekly chart here. So you've got a spot here at the weekly breakout is at $26. If you're a swing trader, dude, you got to be coming, right? You got to be coming right up into this thing. Yeah, you got to be coming right up into this thing. That's your spot, right? Now, look, on the daily chart's a little bit extended. You got to let it pull back. If it can back and fill some of this area and you can just kind of tighten it up. I think you're in a good spot, but keep an eye on that 26. Set some alerts. This should be on your permanent watch list for the next coming days. It's actually been getting some good liquidity. I think yesterday you were at 9, 10 million shares, a little bit even more than that. So it's got a good little number on this thing. Woo! What else? KC. So KC was on this huge run, and they're the only Chinese company that doesn't have a Chinese name, right? Most of them usually got the fancy ones. Look at this, 22 to 15. You're remounting your MAs. Like if it can build over these MAs, I think it's going to be in for a good spot. That's got a good look. For you degens out there, little Zihu, right? A little Zihu Inc. Just a little Zihu between friends. What you got? I got a little Zihu. All right, you got a little Zihu between friends. Boom, 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 boom. Hell yeah, you in it, baby. All right? Dude, that ain't so bad. Little Zihu. EH. This one, we definitely gotta, right? This one we definitely want to keep an eye on. So this one also moves really rowdy when it gets going. So you came out of this base over here, we ran to $30. Now we pulled back here, right? And we're kind of retesting into some of these spots. If you look at the weekly chart on this thing, right? This also, it goes back from 2022. Man, we used to shred this thing in 2021. Holy shit. We were trading this thing every fucking day for like months. Went to $120. Think about that. So it's got room. These guys, they are doing the electric. Hold on, I think let me get this right. Electric drone helicopter taxis. Bam! Right? Bam! Can't get better than that. Bam! Hey, what do you do, man? A little electric helicopter drone taxi game. Little EVTOLF6. That's all. What do you do? I'm a doctor. Must be nice. Look at this thing. We got this thing. If we reclaim this, remount this 27. I mean, it's off to the races on this thing. This is your weekly chart. You're sitting right at the 9 EMA. It's a buenos. It's a noches. It's a buenos noches. Dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a buenos and the noches. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Yeah, Baba, the weekly charts really are nice too. It just needs a little time to coalesce now. Like you don't want to be getting into this too much. YMM, look, guys, YMM had earnings out yesterday. It's also got a really big base on this thing. It had its earnings out. This is a Chinese trucking company, I believe. And right, you're just kind of trending up the bone zone here on your weekly chart. Had a nice stick on it yesterday. Got a small gap up on this. I think this is something we can play. This to me looks probably a little bit more like a swing trade setup than a day trade setup. But hey, we're in it, baby. Good. SE. SE had earnings. So this is not technically a Chinese company. It's a Singaporean company. But it's got a hot stick on this yesterday. So if you look at this bad boy, ORB, we should have been all over this yesterday, right? Like fucking ORB. You got flag pattern. Dude, you ain't getting better than that thing, all right? So this was a This is like a little monster cock run on this bad boy. You orbed on this thing too. Like, you can't really get cleaner than that. So and then you're right, you got nice VWAP play and so on and so forth. So that, like, when a stock moves that clean, you gotta respect it, right? Like, there's stocks that move, but then if you have a stock that moves clean, like, that's something you want to give a little bit more credence to, like a little bit more flavor to. So I like the overall look of this, and frankly, we're opening week on this. That's I think that's really right up our alley. So let's keep an eye on that bad boy too. So those are the China names to be mindful of. Oh, I see what you're doing there, Trent. Trent Daddy, what up? TH, Chunk, Burlington, we talked about. So these are all inverse ETFs here. Look at this. And this is an interesting one. So this is NVDQ. So this shorts NVIDIA. If this goes, if this breaks, let's call this 380, right? Let's call this 380. We got ourselves a something spot, right? So if we look, right, these are all the inverse ETS for NVIDs. So if you want to short some NVIDs, dude, go for it. You got a case of the NVIDs. It's going around, my friends. Oh, yeah, with the Mexico came back with the case of the NVIDs. 392. All right. Xena the Warrior, no good. Chunk. So these are all just inverse ETFs. That's when you know it's a dead market too, right? Like, you're not getting very many news plays. You got some inverse ETFs that just show up on your gapper list. CWeb we've been talking about. Dude, we should have been, probably raking in some calls on this thing, just swinging them. So these are all China. So it's China or nothing today on the long side for the most part. Now let's take a look at the big boys here real quick. So look, if we need a short, this Apple was in a huge dumper yesterday, and then it kind of just rebounded. But I think this is let me get rid of all these lines here. I think this one's got room to fall. You can see Meta had the big stick yesterday, but it's still under the 50-day moving average. So you could. What the fuck? All right. You could, if you start to kind of break down this level, just start to go. Google looks like a bear flag, right? You get breakdown, 2-day pop into the MAs. That looks nasty, right? MSTR, Microsoft's in a bear market, popped up into the bone zone. That one's probably could be shorted if we need them. Amazon is into the 9 EMA, but it's above the 200. So you're in a really really a little bit of a weird spot there. Boom. AMD's also, right? Similar. Tesla looks like a little bit of a bear. Look, guys, if Tesla loses, and this might be out of the shorts, this is probably the top of the list. If Tesla loses this 265, like I think we come in. I think we come in hot on it. Like, if it loses this 265, first of all, if it loses 268, we start up. And then if it loses 265, we lean in, right? And we show, we lay a little Indian wood on this thing. The chocolate thunder, right? We do a little chocolate thunder. And I think we're going to be in a real nice spot. Good. Now, what else? Palantir. So look, on the long side, I think Palantir's got the best open. Let me get rid of all these lines here real quick. So Palantir previous day high is at 90, then yesterday's high was at 90. It closed right there. So you got a small gap down on this thing of 3 points. It's going to open up right into some support. The key is this 9 EMA. If it can break that and then take out this kind of 2-3 day range, you see over here, all right, you just kind of like really been meandering at this 90 spot for quite some time. And if we can hold down, if we need a long, and I'm not saying we do, I don't know, right? This is like not a linear market where you just wake up and you're like, oh, today we long, oh, today we short. I thought going into today that we were going to be doing some longs, and here we are, right, doing the opposite. It's a hot mess. MU looks like a short, right? You're right under the MAs. And look, I think this is probably, more or less, I think this will probably be our play. All right. Yeah, I think if we need an easy one, this one and the Tesla Nation will be right. They'll be at some spots here where we can do the Lord's work here. So you got a bear flag, you got a 110 magnet on this thing. You're already taking out the previous day's lows. Let's watch the first pop on this. If we can do it, then we'll take it down. Now let's get into maybe a little bit more specky stuff. If the market holds, this ASTS has got a very small week open. You get 2 big days here. It may need a rest day, but you've got multiple levels that it's breaking out. So you got a longer term kind of trend line resistance that it's taking out. But also, right, you got multiple doohickeys here. You can see here the volume accumulation on this bad boy too has been real nice, right? Real nice. So you got a week open on this one. Brosis, if this goes red to green today and the market confirms too, then we're going to have ourselves This is a weird gap. Dun, 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 dun. Man, it's a weird fucking gap. All right. This one we hit red to green. If we can take it out. Hey, mRNA had a bunch of insider buys on the tape yesterday. There was something else on it too. And so you got 23 million shares of volume. Big run into the close 31 to 35. You got a little weak open on this one. I think this one could be in play too. What are we missing? Good. Hell yeah. Now look on the downside, there's some pressure on the markets from this Marvel too. Marvel got dusted on their earnings. So let's take a look here. BKSY junk. So this is Mongo Bongo. Mongo Bongo's got a nice. Dude, you got a level right there. If it hangs out below, I mean, you could be dusting that one. Venture Global. Look at this Marvel. I think we add this one too. It's gonna put all these semis are gonna be. Yes, my son. Hi. 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 Mister. Hi. Hey. Mwah. I love you. You're my batu. Mwah. What do you got on your stomach here? Oh. What? What? Hey. 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 Hey, big guy. All right. So Marvel. Yeah, let's add this to the watch list here too. Look at this cars. What a slut. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, you could probably play something like that too. RGTI had its earnings out. Hey guys, AVGO. Look at this. That's a Ganar too, right? So you're retesting the 200-day moving average down. Hi. I love you. You're my buttu. You're my buttu. Tick, 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 tick. Hi. I'm going to eat you up. Gonna eat you up all day. Yeah, this one's got 5% down. Bum, 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 bum. LTBR, junk, 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 junk. SoundCloud, junk, 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 junk. Hey, so with these, I think the RGTI earnings were just out, which were, they probably didn't have any. So with this getting shredded, I think you can take down like all these little turds that are associated with it, right? Like IONQ, SoundHound, right? You can kind of take down all these. They'll all run in a little bit of a group. Hey, what do you got in your stomach here? Let me see. You're a gundu, Bachu. You're a gundu. Now let me give you back to your mouth. What's on his stomach? Oh. Hi, I love you. Hey, good morning. Nah, so you get bear flags and all these. I think that you could take. Also for a short. Look at this. Watch this 300 level on APP. You know, if you bust lower on this bad boy, dude. Damn. That's got a good spot to it too, huh? So look, everything looks dusted. The only things to the long side we want is Baba, Beaky, right? JD's holding a little bit. These Chinas, EH. You could even do Billy. Future tends to move the rowdy. You see, it's got a week open on this one. This, out of the Chinas, oh, man. These Chinas, this could go red to green. Let's add this one to the watch list. It's open and weak here. So I think out of the two Chinas that are opening week, you got SC Future. You know, we got Tesla also for short. I think AVGO. You know, if it breaks under that 200, you can take it down. And dude, the rest of these are all just turds, right? Dell, Bear Flag. Look at this. So you got a big stick under this 100. Now you got a little hanging Chad that's developing right here. That's a nasty McGee. Heck yeah. Hell yeah. And dude, this is probably, you know, the cleanest out of the group. I wouldn't be trying to counter trend anything too much, Kataru. I mean, I guess you're going a little bit farther out, but these things are done. Like it's okay, they're gonna bounce for a day, but they're still going back to $2. And that's where the tricky part lies. Dude, we got to take this thing down. Yeah, I know. Good. That's the list. I'm sticking to it, guys. We're going to short on the first bounce in the market. Do not chase into the hole. If we need longs, we go like an ASTS. We can go China's. We can do all those kind of doohickeys, and we're good to go. Let's go do the Lord's work today and have some fun.
There's a lot of men there, so we can sleep in peace at night when we
Fucking A, let's go.